There we go. After Buff muted, hello everyone and welcome to another match of the 2022 Roulette Rivals World Championship. Still the group stage of course, but now the second half of it for a Group F match. We are here between some random person and the Buff guy. And also here with us is the match admin and co-caster Janini. Welcome.
Hello. So glad to be here. Thanks for having me. Really excited for this match.
Yeah, me too, and really excited for these maps as well. Starting in Santa Fortuna, look at these win rates and lifetime performance. I was thinking about this one. I think these are the two most high-profile Santa Fortuna, not specialists, but the two players with incredible sets here. I think this is going to be a clash for the ages.
Well, you could say that. I mean, Random is definitely very, known for liking Santa Fortuna and liking to pick it. And of course, Buff, as we know, loves the Big Five match, so to say. And Santa Fortuna definitely a lot as well. So, gonna be very interesting to see the matchup on this one.
Prepare yourself.
Yep, and what's that? 18 wins on both sides together, and well more than 20 appearances. Then it's the first Santa Fortuna appearance of them together, and here is the spin, Yanni.
Eliminate the target.
So we have Rico Delgado, loud explosive weapon as Elite Guard, for Jorge Franco, letter opener as Hip Whisperer, and for Andrea Martinez, kitchen knife as construction worker.
Sort of vanilla, but the letter opener to Jorge traveling is gonna be long. The kitchen knife construction worker is fine for Andrea, and at least it's a trap kill for Rico, but wonder which strategy will they be looking for. Interestingly, Buff is the one who's practicing the Red Fox strat, but it doesn't seem like he will end up with that one.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it, of course you have the loud explosive weapon. So it is a setup kill, you could trigger right at the end and it wouldn't be seen. But it also, it doesn't really matter, I guess. So you have all options really here for Rico, because you just need to isolate him anyway. And then you can, forget about him until the end. Which is likely they're gonna... I don't think anyone's gonna, do the loud explosive weapon kill and then hide him and then go on with the spin. So we'll just assume that goes at the end. So then it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so we definitely do see interesting approaches with what I like. Definitely, known approaches from Random. He's gonna go with the submarine lure, and Buff is gonna go with the mansion start lure. Both of which isolate Rico quite fast. The interesting part about the submarine lure here to me is that there's an explosive right where you isolate Rico anyway, so you don't have to bring that in. Plus additionally, the isolation is remote, so Random can just leave like something that sedates him and the explosive here, and could forget about it, but he's locked himself out of the caves.
Yeah, I wonder if... So it's always been difficult for me a bit to figure out how to do these two items together, because there would be the gum or the snail you can place for Rico, and then of course you can get him hidden there. I was looking for these double chaos for Random, which I have had some troubles lately, but works for him very nicely, and I think he's just gonna wait for Rico here and get the isolation together.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, I guess Venom doesn't have anything for that, which I mean is fair. You'll still get Rico quite down quite soon. Buff in the meantime has already gotten Rico isolated and is now leaving him here. Rico's coming sprinting now for Random. Oh, and stop sprinting.
Just
but yeah, you'll have him down soon.
Yeah. Buff, the opening for Buff has been the Mansion Star start, and Rico is already isolated. Of course, no bomb, no natural bomb nearby, so I have to use one from the inventory. But yeah, as Kaneta says, it's not a loadout heavy spin, so you could even start with it, which I'm pretty sure Buff has, because the other two kills are lethal melee items, and Buff is already the hidden stash. Jank will help him probably with the construction worker grab, because there are a couple in this village, and always nice when you can just let the body be found.
Totally. But yeah, of course, we as we expected, both starting with the Rico ISO and now having some, well, maybe a bit different approaches. Random is going for construction worker first. It's gonna miss Andrea for that. While Buff is gonna go for Andrea first, and then later gonna come back with a construction worker and a kitchen knife. Well, actually, Random didn't rip, but he just decided to replan. It didn't rip, right?
Yeah, not to my knowledge, and I think the problem for him was the same. The fact that he was going for Andrea. Andrea was on his mind, but the timing we did see, which was the rip at 2:45, that he was simply missing her, and I think that was the next step of his plan. He just didn't want to wait the 5 minutes there, so rather take the 3-minute loss there.
And yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, if he can pull off a better strat here, I can totally see that. Yeah. He does bring coins though, and no. I mean, he would have played for something like a snail, which would speed it up significantly. Soon to be coins and a crowbar, which of course works too. Now this is very interesting because after shooting, it was the camera box was a loud pistol, and well, I had my own personal experience with that. The spot is already a bit sketchy with a loud pistol. It's a bit more sketchy even. But
it's
yeah, he pulled
good.
it off so good.
It's all good when you can trust your aim, which I couldn't with the PC, but or with the keyboard, and Buff gets it first try with the controller. But
yeah,
he
it was
gets
about Tolly
out.
too. It's crazy.
Nicely done there, and the kitchen knife already acquired, and now he's going for the construction worker disguise, which is above him, and yeah, back to the tauntaun. Nicely tucked away in that corner, but of course, right as I say it, or what is he doing in instinct? No, looks like looking good for Buff. Never an easy disguise to get, but he made it really simple here.
Very nice, of course. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Buff did grab both the construction worker and the kitchen knife, so heading back to Andrea should get his first kill down relatively soon.
Yeah, the kill will be all fine for him. The one major change in Randy's plan, and could even be related to the replan, you know, not just missing Andrea, but the fact that he couldn't exit with the elite guard. Remember when he got stuck and couldn't open the door with the key hacker door, and he was the sub crew, not the elite guard. But now he can buffer it, and we'll use it for a Rico kill much later. And he can still go towards Andrea. We'll still miss her though.
Huh. Yeah, that is gonna be true, but well, we'll see what it's gonna do here. Meanwhile, Buff now, of course, has Andrea kill down, also has the letter opener. So of course, he has placed the explosive for Jorge, for Rico, I mean. So that's nice. So I really think he just should need, he needs to get to Hippo Restorer, needs to get to Jorge, then an elite guard, and then exit. That should be his plan here, I think. So it's quite straightforward for him from this point on. We'll just see how he manages to handle that.
Shit. Yeah, with the Rico setup, it's going nicely together. Both players will have to enter the Hippo area after all, of course, with disguise. But for Buff, it's a non-chess pass in disguise to enter and to exit. So shouldn't be any problems there.
True. Random did now grab the kitchen knife. Of course, the letter opener is the other item required, which is in Andrea's compound, so that should be all cared for. Yeah, interested what he'll do now. Maybe Random will just wait here for Andrea to come back, which will take about 2 minutes though.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2-ish minutes. Which is, yeah, just hard to say, as Randy almost didn't crouch there, or was he in the process of crouching, but made it really close after the evidence shot.
Yeah, I was afraid so.
True. Now, oh, Rico was found for Random.
That either, will it? Fuck.
Who could that be?
I am not sure where he left him exactly.
So need to get over here.
Well, that means another restart for Random.
The interesting part is that he was found at this timing, like close to 5 minutes.
But I can't do that because
But did we miss that he didn't KO everyone? So could it be the Hippo Whisperer on his cycle deck? Because that's the only longer cycle.
Yeah, apparently so. It must be it, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Well,
I was missing that step.
yeah, that's quite an oversight then. Well, you'll have a hard time catching up now, but of course anything can happen, so we'll see about it. But Buff did now acquire the Hippie Whisperer disguise in the meantime, and is now looking for Jorge. I think Buff has a Tika shot left, or well, has a Tika at least. Which yeah, he does. So that will make that a lot easier.
And actually,
And
two
it's
darts
very
as
good
well.
for him.
So should he
Yeah.
seeker someone else, which actually what he's doing right now to
Nice.
make Jorge the second person sick, and even though he's closer to this quote-unquote wrong bathroom, he'll be always safe there, but oh my,
But you have to be a bit careful here, because like it's easy to miss a Seeker shot here. If you miss it now, you don't have an alternative, because you only have one left. So you need to be a bit careful here.
Yeah.
But okay, he did now get him to
Probably not
get...
gonna be safe.
okay, he did get Jorge to stop in his path, didn't shoot the shot from the bushes, because, you know, it wasn't a tall bush.
Someone else is coming
It's
as
gonna play
well.
it really safe here. Yeah, it's gonna play it safe here. It's gonna go into the tall bushes. I have to be a bit careful with the guy coming from behind, but he did get the shot off. That should be very nice. It's gonna get him to this toilet here, as the correct toilet, as you said, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But of course, so that should be it. That's kill down. But of course he can't. You know, there's an exit here, of course, which is quite convenient. But of course he does still need the elite guards, guys.
Yeah. Single
So
one
that is
disguise.
still gonna be a trip.
I'm curious to see what would be the best route to any exit. If it's even touching Rico and take his car keys, I don't really suppose so actually. Since the elite guards are so centered in this map, apart from the guards near the village who are guarding the cave entrance for the hippie, I think any exit could still be there. That's a question mark for Buff. I'm not sure if the
I'm not
worker
sure if
will
boxing
start
here is a
moving.
good idea. Well, I guess it is still from the concealed, so I guess he cannot be seen, but I'm not sure if the body can be. But anyway, he got that out of the way, and is now in a god disguise, which will definitely help get around this area. But of course, it does need the lead god disguise. So we'll see what he's gonna do. You speculated about it, but of course, never know what actually the player will be doing.
Yeah, I don't.
But he had a lot of gods inside of Fortuna, so lots of different areas. So not that easy.
I don't think you can really have a go-to elite guard grab because it's just so dependent on the targets and the other conditions. But it's also the fact that I don't really have a lot of elite guard knowledge now. He's in the mansion area, so I would call that he would go to the village. Yes.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense for me too. I think that's pretty much the sort. So Fortuna is a big map, real big map, and the place is very spaced out. The range around the map is very long. But if you go through the villa, everything gets a lot shorter. So it makes sense that he's gonna go to the center now, and he has a snail, which indicates to me that he's gonna KO those two snails, just those two guards here, and should be done with it.
Which would be even fine to my knowledge with the cameras turned on, but of course the evidence has been deleted minutes ago. Final disguise grab, and the last obstacle here is just waiting out those 3 seconds and not pressing the wrong prompt on the bus stop. I don't think there's much that can go wrong on our end. He has already finished. We'll give him a refresh between the maps, but that is the first map finished by Buff.
GG, very nicely done.
I think it is the first try after all. Sub 11 minutes and sub 13 of real time. I think it's as good a start as Buff could have hoped for. Even taking Randy's map pick in the process, which is very important for him in hopes of winning this match, his last match actually in the group stage. Match number 7 out of 7.
Very exciting.
Okay.
I didn't check out like the group stage possibilities, whether Buff can secure first place with a sweep. He's on 30 points after 6 matches, so he could go up to 36 out of 42, which is insanely high. He is already through. He's already through with a very good position, of course, but I wonder if we will see a guaranteed first place here in 2 maps time.
Well, indeed, that would be very interesting. So, yeah, we'll see about it. Can speculate about it more when we actually know the end result and get the group standings up. But that's a very good point. But I think, yeah, I really like that kind of Fortuna by buff. Random had some problems, had to restart, one voluntarily, one not so voluntarily. And but Buff had a clear plan from the start, right? I mean, he went in, knew exactly what he wanted to do, and great planning ahead. For example, like the snail, bringing in the snail, which he just used right at the end. Knew that's gonna be used for those 2 guards probably. So yeah, great planning, great executions. Very impressive first map.
Yeah, and of course, I think it's just Randy couldn't show his actual strength to this map. We did see that. I think his side was the one with 10 wins, 2 losses. Obviously, he can do a lot of center runs first try and win those matches. Wasn't the case this time.
Okay, so they hear that.
I think he's just gonna any percent it, although I don't think he was sure about this one anyway. It's a
I
good
mean, it's still
testing
green guns, But yeah.
for now.
That would have been very nice if wouldn't have been hurt. Of course, then it would have saved a lot of time because you would have to trigger it right at the end. Well, of course, he's gonna kill these 2 now, but
So far, so
but
good. Still green after
Yeah.
that. That's fantastic.
it would have been a very fast second kill, but of course, it is too late now. But well, if his plan would have worked out, that would have been very nice, especially because now, he has Hippolytus and only Jorge Franco left, and he can exit there. So that would have saved the whole back and forth that Buff had to do. But yeah, in-game time-wise, very good. But of course, with 2 restarts, it's just not up.
Yeah, it's basically, of course, the first half of the spin that just couldn't. He couldn't get together in time, and yeah, Buff was just so solid there all the way through. Don't think you can ask for
indeed.
much more than 11 minutes first try.
Definitely, I think so too. I mean, especially on the maps like these, it's just so important not to rip and to, I mean, the spin is gonna take so long anyway. If you spend a bit more time, that's totally fine.
If only I remember the strats.
As long as you can do it first. I mean, it's more important for every map, but especially on these long ones, it's even more important.
Look at this.
I mean, Random is trying to finish the spin. I think he will be a bit tough with Berlin starting very soon. I'm pretty sure he knows that the spin is over. I hope so, at least.
Yeah, I was thinking about this one.
Yeah. I think he just wanted to finish the spin, but is realizing now that he doesn't have time for that. But he shows us how it would have worked out, and the in-game time would have been like 3 minutes faster. Yes, that's very true. So maybe if he only had the first restart, it would have been very close. But with the second restart too, sadly not quite good enough.
No, but of course it can still go back and forth, and why wouldn't Randy be able to take Buff guys? Pick both of them with 50% win rate, although you can see that it's vastly different experience there, a win and a loss on Randy's side and 6-6 on Buff's side, so someone will move away from this 50% win rate should it not finish in a tie. 5 seconds until then, and yeah, just quickly run these down, and good luck with these triangles, Yanni. We have Injected Poison Biker, Loud AR Club Security, Electrocution Delivery Guy, Explosive Weapon DJ, and Falling Object Bartender here. That's a lot of downstairs heavy, with the exception of the Delivery Guy, but it's a nice variety of approaches.
I think I'd say so, yeah. I mean, interesting part is, but yeah, you're completely right with the disguises, yes. But of course they are to be found anywhere on the map, but of course it is also an important question for your strat in Berlin, where is the spin centered, and you are of course right that most, especially with DJ, can be found below. But of course, things like Biker, Club Security, Bartender can be found on many levels.
Some of them, but not all.
Yeah, that's also very true. And of course, Falling Object is something that you are looking at a quick execution perhaps with Davenport. But the fact that I think apart from the Loud AR, and of course Electrocution, you can't really get an item from a Biker, from an agent, but yeah, the Explosive Weapon and the Injected Poison will... the agents of those items will play a major role in this one.
Yeah, for sure. I think yeah, but I think it's definitely not that loadout heavy if you use the well, it's kind of loadout heavy, but if you use the you kind of have to use the items from the agents, and I was doing what I would have expected, and started well, I would say at least that falling object is the the most important kill of these.
Mhm.
I wouldn't call it hardest or trickiest, but I would just say most important for the outline of the spin. Because in Berlin spins you gotta think so differently from all the other spins. At least I feel like that. So, and I feel like pivoting to the important ones is quite central. So, Buff is gonna start Club Crew and get that bartender immediately, so he can get that falling object kill on Tams here.
Yeah, I think that's a good approach there. A Berlin spin will probably look like a lot of knockouts, and then there's some exceptions for the falling object, for example, and consume poison, and you just tend to think of those exceptions first because they will play such a big role in the spin. And yeah, Buff with probably the biggest challenge apart from loud AR kill already set up, and I think any second now we will have the first kill. I don't imagine this will be delayed any longer.
Well,
I imagined wrong.
You did imagine wrong. We first gonna see something else. Probably a Davenport isolation. It looks like it's gonna be a Davenport isolation with a nomadic, maybe. Yeah, he's not gonna lure with a staircase or something. He's just gonna make him sick. It's not drowning kill here, but it's not
It's the
bad anyway. You need
soundproof room in the bathroom, yeah.
Yep, very true. I don't know if Buff brought in his loud assault rifle. You can just get it from a biker. For example, this one is carrying one, I think.
I think agents on the top floor are more likely to have those ARs, but I think there will be plenty here.
Oh,
Randy
that makes
also,
a lot of sense. Just gonna set up an electrocution here.
Randy already with a kill down, and that, to my knowledge, should be Thames as well with the falling object. Not 100% sure because I was watching Buff there, but don't really see. And no, that's actually Thames is alive as well, but definitely now 2 out of 5. The electrocution is a certain kill.
Wrong direction.
We are getting
There we
those-
have the that falling object kill now.
Yeah, on Buffy's side. But Randy with the kill lead, and I just... Randy's injected biker. Thank you, Sparkles. I think we both missed that, Yanni.
What to do about it?
Yeah,
While we were
perfect,
talking
thank you.
about the falling object setup. Randy with a very quick kill there and 2-1 lead, but Buff could very quickly make this closer, although still no club security.
Yeah, I mean, I love to see those two different strats here, cause
That took
well, we
a lot
have
of target limited.
on one hand we have Buff with the club crew start and Random with the biker start, and Buff is also now gonna get the second kill with the delivery electrocution from the delivery guy. So we have some different kills down here, which is nice to see.
And Randy, I think, is between the timings. He could have kicked the bricks for a falling object.
Yeah, but it's gonna get this one down, which is completely nice.
Yeah, for sure. Just calling it in, always frustrating, but by the 3.5 minute mark, he will have 3 out of 5 kills down.
Indeed. Very nicely done from him.
And I think it's also important that he has loud AR, and the other 2 disguises can be acquired downstairs. And there are at least 2 agents downstairs. Oh, never mind. Of course, here's this Mr. Agent Green for the 4th kill. So Randy is such a huge progress already.
True, very nice. I mean, it's always a tricky to say in Berlin who's ahead, but he's looking very good right now. But I wouldn't go so far to say like, yeah, he definitely ahead. So we'll see. But very nicely done, I think. I like this plan here. You start a biker, use that immediately, to get an injected kill, then made an electrocution kill happen on Swan, and then the Thames fall kill. I think it's just really nice passing here. It's great.
And it's not even... Oh, okay. So Randy with the body shot, I don't see that often. I think he just wanted a triple shot there, but oh my, banner is already coming. I'm not sure if Randy was looking to KO that last agent. That could be problematic late in the spin. Oh, where is Banner? Up here, because he could be the AR kill.
Could indeed
And
be.
the C4 was set up for Agent Green, so it could be really quick there.
Oh,
Oh, whoosh during
my
the throw,
God.
but that is a frontal.
That is
And-
not something you want, but it still keeps green guns by... Because he just hit fast enough again. That was so close, though.
That was
I mean...
could have been really troublesome there. But this is going to be now number 4. Gunshot heard, but as it is usually the case, it's only civilians who are far enough away to not care and to not relay the information to guards.
Heard that.
And then only the DJ remaining for Randy. Buff is still on 2 out of 5 kills. And what is that
That
Viper
is so
doing?
risky here. I don't know. He's just dragging him here, but I don't think you will want to KO that one. Okay, he will KO him. Why not, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, it needs that AR, and this is so much better than going upstairs to take one. Wow.
That makes sense, yeah. But I mean, I think it's really like how Random has been handling it. I definitely, it's safe to say that he is in the lead now. He just needs this DJ kill. I don't think he has an explosive weapon set up. Or does he? Sorry, I didn't
He
miss that.
set it up on green actually, and then Banner
Oh,
was
set
the
it up on
loud AR
green.
kill.
Oh yeah, of course, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, that's just such good passing, I think. So yeah, it's gonna be nearly done here. Very, very nice.
It would have been a very deserving record here, the 7:34 of Fenium. We'll stand with this 8 minute and couple second RTA, but Randy 6:23 first try, taking Berlin. Incredible run.
Beautiful.
That is really a great
Kill
run.
me,
I
that's
gotta say
beautiful.
too. Yeah, I would say so too. Would have been record very bad. I guess the loadout was a bit, the planning was a bit too long, but it definitely paid off. You know, sometimes you just, especially in Berlin, you really gotta think it through. So it makes a lot of sense to plan that through. And really, really well done. Nice run.
And it's far from an easy spin, far from a Rolf spin. We took disguises from
Score 2
basically
to
so many floors, and the remote kills, accidents, and loud kills were both apparent. Imagine what would have happened for an actually more straightforward spin, but 2 points for Randy, still very well deserved.
Yeah, very well done. Now we're gonna head on a random third map, which is gonna be Isle of Scale.
Making this a very impressive trio of maps actually. Probably the longest / hardest 2-target map now, as well as the
Whew.
2 of the big 5.
I can't remember what the last one.
True. I mean, would have been funny if we got another one, and another big 5, but of course the chances of that are quite low. But yeah, as you said, Scale is still quite a long. I mean, can be quite a long map. It does. I think Scale does heavily depend on the spin. You know, you could have to go all the way to to the top or something with the Knights disguise and stuff, and then it's getting very long. But then you could also get a just one double seeker with 2 guys that are very close by, and that could be on the other end of a long spin. So I think it's very dependent. But we'll see that in just a moment.
Yeah, and for sure with lots of variety there. Potential for something that is a quick spin. Of course, I think of the... This is actually funny because I do say this is one of the hardest maps. The record is one of the lowest in terms of the 2-target maps. It's 358 currently. Doesn't matter. More details don't matter there, but the other maps, for example, Marrakesh, Sapienza even, just looking through Miami, and even Wittoton Creek are more than 4 minutes, and you would think that those maps are
At least.
easier and usually can be done more straightforward and more rookie friendly. But yeah, Scale
I mean, that's
both
true.
opposites.
Actually, as you said, there's the one time the records portray the best times, and then there's the average times, which is just can portray a totally different picture. And I do think it's backed by stats that Scale is the longest 2-target map, right? If I remember correctly.
When we used to have those stats, I wish we could use again, but yeah, it used to be. Well, back then, Bangkok used to be the one, but I don't imagine that would be the case for much longer.
True. Oh, true. I didn't think of that. I mean, those stats were very nice, but just, too time intensive to keep track of that. But
Absolutely. Alrighty, one last minute here, and yeah, we got a game here. We did say about Buff's standing with a 5 win and 1 loss so far, he could be, well, realistically either 6-1 or 5-2 after this. This is Randy's third match only, with a win and a loss so far, 8 points before this match. He's definitely one to still hope to advance, while Buff is obviously certain to be in the top 4 after this map win actually. But yeah, Randy hoping to get through from Group F, which is, for just a quick reference, consists of the Buff guy, I Like Hitman, some random person, Crudy, Alex Mr. 102, Red Fox, the Time Cube, and Gorg.
9, 8, 7,
Indeed.
So this is
And
the
I think it's
situation
just
here.
yeah, it's just an interesting dynamic too, right? Because oh well, we just finished here, so I won't talk any further. I'll just read it out for you.
That's fine.
I forgot that that's coming here so shortly. We have Zoe Washington with an SMG as Blake Nathaniel, and Sophia Washington with an explosive weapon as Jebediah Block. Yeah, I sometimes get too caught up in talking about anything. So, but yeah, Spinners here. So what do you think of this?
I think the conditions are perfectly fine. The explosive weapon will be one to look out for, especially with the double seeker strategy, because the bathroom she resides in can be heard from below. So an explosive weapon, even the breacher, must be an exit kill if one wants to be safe. But these guys are on the tougher side though.
Yeah, that is very true. Don't need you. I mean, Skye has a lot of unique items, melee items, but so you don't need to grab any of those, which is good already for spin length. But yeah, the disguises are definitely unique ones. So which also means a bit more work.
So you need.
Did I bring? I brought the
No, I was going to say I almost said no loadout for the kills, but of course the explosive weapon will most likely be a breacher. And Randy using the two-handed SMG, which could be better if you just use the deck cover.
Yeah,
But the briefcase will be useful either way.
I guess it doesn't. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. I guess, but he could have still brought a one-handed. But I guess he does. I mean, bringing it in doesn't make sense if he doesn't want to KO God. He's not gonna KO God anyway.
This guy has one.
But so that's not really useful. But I don't know. It doesn't really hurt. He has to hurry a bit up though if he still wants to catch Zoe too. Because I assume when he brings the Seeker that he wants to double Seeker here. Just makes a lot of sense.
Timing works out for him like this. If he doesn't spend more than 10 seconds setting this one up. Don't see the breacher just yet. He's getting now tight a bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because like Zoe is gonna walk down, walk through the downstairs. Well, downstairs area now, and he doesn't. He will not get down there in time.
It's a proxy conversation with Cornelius, so if you're not there, you're just late. But
Exactly.
yeah, Randy's just looking for the Sophia kill first. Same for Buff actually, but he started opposite. Let's talk about him as well. From Custodian start, he used the peekaboo on block, and now he's using the micro distraction for Blake. So disguise is first, then the kills in this time.
I mean that works too. Don't have to eye to the targets first. That can also spend some time on the preparations. I think that's totally fair. Looks like he's gonna lure Blake up, and then of course he has now the option for the radio. If he wants to do that. I think. I mean, the timing might be tight because now Sophia's gonna walk here, and he has to KO Blake. And it looks like he can't quite choose what to do first. But
It's gonna be
Sophia's coming
so
right
difficult. He could even use the radio here, but he's late for that, and it's extended illegal action with the illegal items throw and have to restart.
He wanted to rush it, of course, but yeah.
As far as Randy is concerned, he did place the breacher on the ground, and after getting the kill, he gets the attention of this guard, and I think the bump does enough.
I think so too. I don't think he needs to drop anything. Knows about that alerting, but I think that bump should be it.
Because it's not a distraction, just an audio lure. So
yeah,
one distraction takes care of it. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh
well,
my god,
it was not
boy,
okay.
you were wrong.
I mean, yeah, sadly he did not look back or something to see if it actually worked, that bump. So yeah, well, good to know it did not work. That's sad for him.
Randy was so confident too. That's so unfortunate. And actually, both of them with some solid strats, but one step doesn't work out for them. And I wonder, the timing is not going to be easier for Buff, so I wonder what is he thinking about this one. This is where I would get this keep second guessing myself and just end up much slower in the meantime.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Buff now is just gonna do the same strat again. I mean, it was really solid. I think just if you actually lose Blake a bit earlier or a bit later, or like just that's no problem. The time was just really unfortunate, to be honest. To be fair to him. And Random did replan. He realized now that if he KOs the guard, that he can just get an SMG from him. So he planned brought a Korma with him instead of a SMG, which makes sense. It's always more darts are always useful.
Yeah, I think it was such a close call to KOing Blake. No, KOing Block. God damn it! Whoever was in chat who reminded me of this. This guy is sounding so close. So the block grab on Randy was a bit sketchy there and almost died after the KO. But should be much easier now. And I think the emetic approach was also fine. Just one cycle to look out for, but Shanks are perfect here. And this time I didn't see the breacher though.
He did place the breacher, I'm pretty sure.
But where exactly?
Under her head, I guess.
It's just such a small detail, and I was so happy to catch it first time, but it's so easy to miss. On the ground again, thank you, PG.
Yeah. What else did you mean? Like, okay, I didn't think of any other place. Just below her head, I would. Yeah.
If you could, well, if Sophia is close enough to the toilet, you can place it on the toilet. You can place it on the wall, as long as it's not on the ground. And Randy loses.
No.
Block.
Wait, he actually keeps green guns? Wait,
and he's alive. It's just a pacification.
But it doesn't help him anyway, because it's unique disguise. But oh man, he's even alive. It's not out of bounds apparently, so... Oh man. That's just funny. But on the other hand, Buff this time did get the radio successfully and KO Blake with better timing. So he has now that first kill down, is looking very good for that second one. Has Blake, has an SMG. I guess he has an SMG. I'm not sure actually, but I just assume so.
SMG from the Elite Guard, it's a non-issue. The Buff is yet to use an emetic item, so we don't know if he has a Seeker or not. But this looks like an MOC grab because he's leaving this gallery area. So we are still a few minutes away.
That's true. I mean, that makes sense if he didn't bring an emetic. So, yeah. I've spent his load on other things.
The people in the chat, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there's the GGs already when they are fully aware that these are still the sketchy moments incoming. That's
a Pidgey moment, if I've ever seen one. But yeah. At this point, he's trying to jinx it.
Basically, he's certainly minutes away from this one. But he has the necessary chance to make this work. Although he starts with the wrong person, Shank. I'm not sure if the second one hit. Luckily it did so. At least that's a successful ISO from Buff.
Yeah, exactly. Did work out in the end. And now he just needs to trigger that. Yeah, you go out here for 1 second. Trigger this, and then Zoe will come over. Of course he's tranked, so it doesn't need to hide that. Still nice to hide. Wants to hide this, makes it a bit easier. So otherwise, Zoe could spot a body too early and just stand in the door, which is not ideal. So this looks very good though.
In other news, Randy catches block from certain death, or certain non-death, I guess. So gets the disguise, and we'll get the first kill. We'll get the same question mark there, but I think it's looking a bit better for him this time. But the difference is only 2 minutes, but Buff is so close now, a minute away, less than a minute now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no doubt that random strat could be faster potentially, but it's just not, Buff has such a big lead. Yeah, there we go. Changes guys, shot over the SMG, and is now heading out of the window to the helicopter and already finished on the overlay.
There we go. And I did even refresh him before the last map. It's just YouTube delay from our Twitch streamer, but there's the Buff finish and the Buff win with 5-11. Second try, I want to say. Overall, a very solid scale.
Yeah, second try. Yeah, unfortunate. I think after the first restart, of course, both players were relatively, very equal to each other. But it would have been interesting because, like, now you see Random, of course, securing Blake, and then, I'd be so interested how that would have played out. If that strat would have been even faster. But yeah, of course, with that unfortunate knockout over the cliff, we did not get to see that. But yeah, in the end, deserved 4-2 for Buff Guy. I think both can be happy with that. Buff Guy taking his final 4 points, and also taking 2 more points towards advancing.
Buff definitely happy and relieved, and we will see what that matters, or what that means for the group. Yeah, actually, I'll do it right now, as Randy is still a minute and a half away, and I think we are just going to get into the next match as soon as possible. So F is the group here, and
Can try refresh, please? I have sent it.
sure you did.
Oh,
Not yet.
well. Okay, just imagine Buff is on 34 points and Random is on 10 points.
And one more thing you have to imagine here is that the next to Buff Guy, there would be the advanced sign. He is no longer in with the shot at not making to the final 4 or the top 4 of his group. 32 was enough, looking at the couple other players. But yeah, just very dominant here. We don't know yet if this will mean first place for him yet, because we have had a couple players here who can outclass him. For example, I like Hitman, who is 3 matches down, 3 wins so far. So he could end up with 38 points. I think it was the Time Cube, the other player, one of the best rookies this tournament, who could actually make it over Buff, but it just requires so many map wins there, and Buff is really convincing at the top so far. As well as Randy, as far as top 4 goes, I think he would be facing against Red Fox for whoever finishes 4th, because the top 3 just look very convincing so far.
Indeed. But yeah, as you said, many matches to go here, so interesting to see how that will play out, but Buff already ahead of the curve here and finished all his matches, so yeah, looking very good for him.
Yep, and oh, nice, we do have the lineup for the next match, which starts in 5 minutes. Perfect timing for David Red Sox versus K Kaneta. It will be casted by Joker J and Gordini Roy in just 4 minutes from now, so we do have just enough time to reflect on this match. Yanni, what do you think of it?
I think, a match between definitely two contestants for top 4 and beyond. Of course, Buff already too, but yeah. So definitely a top match, and I think both showed their potential. We had a superb Berlin by Random, and otherwise really great performance by Buff. So I think well-deserved result and a great match to watch for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It was nice to see all 3 maps, and both players took each other's map in brilliant fashion. It was really nice to see. But yeah, in the end, it is a 4-2 for Buff Guy in his final group stage match. Next up for him is the first round of the knockout stage, starting, I want to say, the 6th of November. So that was it from us, and the raid is coming out really shortly now. Thank you everyone for watching. GG's to Randy and Buff. Thank you, Yanni, for adminning and casting with me.
Thank you for having me.
And see you everyone for the next match. Bye bye.